Explore, meet, create.
Hello to everyone.
Hello, Martina. Hi. Hello. Welcome.
Hello. It's really great to be here with you. Thank you. So today I will talk about augmented reality as a part of digital tourism products. So we all know that 2020 has brought new challenges in developing the tourism product. And at the time when the world has stopped and the most of the reservations has been cancelled, it was necessary to find new solutions that will bring innovation in tourism product development and that will make sense on a global scale. One of the most common questions was, and still is, how to create a digital innovative tourism product. It is the same question whether you are involved in meetings or in the travel industry. For having a better insight what we are now talking all about, let's have a look on a campaign video that Zagreb Tourist Board prepared for this Advent. So please, can you share the video? Thank you. So we all know that 2020 will also be remembered as a year when tourism boards were struggling with plans, possibilities, solutions, and budgets. So on one side, we have businesses that can't do anything in the physical space. And on the other side, we have here an augmented reality startup with a tool for multiple purposes that connects the user location with the location of branded personalized content. We also know that some of the highlighted keywords for business in 2020 were be present, be digital, and be innovative. But what is digital tourism in the first place? By definition, digital tourism is the use of digital tools to prepare, organize, control, and enjoy the travel experience when doing tourism. And we also know that it's not an easy task to be innovative when you are under the constant pressure, as all tourism businesses were, and most of them still are. Our goal with Equinox and augmented reality was to encourage meeting and travel industry to think about AR possibilities. And here begins our story about virtual Christmas windows and how it all went from the idea to realization. But to be sure we are all on the same page, I'd like to put things into the context first. So please, can we see our next video? Now we saw the video, how everything looked like at the end, but let's start with some basics. What is augmented reality and how to use it? We are aware that the concept of augmented reality and its massive usage is still in its infancy in our region, and it's still unknown for many. For the first step in understanding augmented reality, it is essential to have two aspects of the context of the world: the actual context in which we physically find ourselves and the virtual one. Augmented reality is a combination of real images of the physical world and digital images of the virtual world. In other words, in a location that physically exists, we create digital content and place it on a physical location. And by combining those two worlds, we create a new kind of virtual space enriched with digital content. Or we can also say that we create dynamic content located in the virtual world in physical locations. And now we have another question. Why should we use augmented reality? AR gives us a new dimension to promotional materials. Its purpose is to be used as a part of sales and marketing strategy, or also to have informational and educational purpose. Data from different research are in favor of further technology usage for developing tourism products and services. It's important to emphasize that even in the case of creating augmented reality content, it is important to know what exactly we want to achieve and what problem we want to solve, as well as it is necessary to take care that the entire user experience makes sense. When creating the AR content, we have to have in mind that our physical environment will be part of our story. Our content has to be entertaining and has to be shareable. And let's go now back to Christmas time, where 2020 Christmas season all around the world looked more like this. And Zagreb Tourism Board wanted to create content, but with one mission: how to give its citizens value and keep them close to their homes. Now, when we saw how virtual Christmas windows looked like, let's now talk more about the process and how they were done. Like I already mentioned, on one side, we already had the platform that developers were developing for some time, as well as the mobile app. In other words, the technology infrastructure was there. On the other side, Zagreb Tourism Board already developed the main story about the Advent Zagreb with the campaign name Feel the Light. One of the main challenges was to create content in accordance with the recommendations of the Croatian Institute for Public Health, and at the same time try to preserve the spirit of the best Christmas market in Europe. Not an easy job at all. The main idea was to connect the traditional and warm story of Advent with modern technologies and direct Advent visitors to more than 40 locations in Croatia, Slovenia, Serbia, Germany. Locations were mostly squares and parks. In other words, all those locations were full of AR. So let's go now back to illustrations Zagreb Tourism Board had. It's important to emphasize that with this augmented reality content, we added a new virtual dimension to already existing promotional materials, and the Tourism Board used it as a part of its own promotional campaign. In this way, through Equinox and augmented reality content, we upgraded Tourism Board's communication in order to engage audience in the virtual content. In other words, we put relevant content at the right time and in the right location. And to be able to experience the content, it was necessary to have the application installed on the smartphone. Here you see the map of Zagreb with the locations where the content was placed. Now you will see here how those windows looked when they were prepared in 3D and when we added an animation to them. So this is the first one. And here we have the next one. As this was actually the virtual exhibition and the idea was to be more artistic, we added only subtle animations to each windows. As the whole global atmosphere was not festive, something like this was appropriate. And what you can't see here is that we also added a sound to some windows, meaning when the user approached the window, the sound was activated. When we prepared all the windows, we placed them on physical locations. And at the end, we had 20 different windows, each with different message. And we choose appropriate number of windows for each location. And as any other campaign, this one also had its promotional plan, which was unfortunately interrupted with a strong earthquake on the 29th of December, when all the campaigns were stopped. So far, we had more than 1,000 downloads with 2,500 interactions, and average time per user was 3.5 minutes. The campaign had 65 media mentions in articles, together with 17 radio interviews and 11 TV interviews. We also got pictures from our users from different cities. This one is from Split in Croatia, Vukovar in Croatia, Slavonski Brod, also in Croatia, and Rijeka, also in Croatia. And also here we have Ljubljana in Slovenia. And now, almost at the end, it's good to mention that the Zagreb Tourism Board understands the importance of presence on different digital platforms, as well as the AR technology will become part of their future projects and campaigns. And for the very end, I'd like to finish with several takeaways when thinking about your new digital tourism product. So as we all know, it's always important to have a clear vision, but we also learned last year that confidence and especially flexibility are more important than ever. And it's good to ask yourself whether you would like to create an average or fantastic product. And when you think about your fantastic product, it's good to think about it more holistically and, of course, take care of local people. Design your content with empathy and try to connect a dynamic content that will have entertaining experience in the virtual world. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. And now if there are some questions, I'm here.
Petra, thanks a lot. Also from my side, maybe just if you can share some practical experiences you have with the meetings industry or event organizers. Can we use this also in meetings industry?
Yes, of course. This one can be definitely used in the meetings industry. It can be used in a hotel or for the special event. It always depends on the story that you would like to develop. Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Conventa. Explore, meet, create.